Morgen in der Vier, so aufhaben, seht Moshiach Chidon. Es a guter Maimi, du Masse, bechulo, das kommt aber nicht zu am Meise, wo man wohnt am Meise, wo Jike. Das meint man, als wie bald, dass sie da as wurde. Und bei ihm wird es in ein Leben von einem Maimi, bei Mona Pschuter. Dafür sich beschaß gehen heim schlafen, sich legen in Asami Neffen. Aber beschaß sich aufhab und sehen, als nicht nur Emeid Acherkos leben. Nur dort steht Mashiach bei ihm im Zimmer, soll der Mashiach gefunden in einem Maimi du Masse, was im Massim, als soll eine Kabel sein, Pnei Mashiach zu kennen. Aber das wird nicht geworfen mit einer Neffen von Matone, sie jeder Linie darf sein, Massene war wieder Szene. Hebt sich schon schrecken, nicht erschrecken, ist Horror schreckt immer. Aber wie bald da bis sei, nicht Eiche, Sasaminine, sag seilich Olapoch, ist nicht mehr Walbudlein Schlaf, trach nicht wegen Unionen am Avili, wirst du haben mal ruhig nach, wirst du können aufstehen mit der Chlorikop, ist du können entern Mashiach, ja, die sagen Shalom Aleichem, ist du können entern mit der Chlorikop, Aleichem Shalom. Sondern wissen sein, dass sie nicht mehr wacke Schädel für Kirche. Aber soll wissen sein, dass man redet zu dem Mingele. Oder zu dem Mingele mit der weißen Bord, soll wissen sein, dass das meint mir nicht. Aber nicht so wohl, und ist am Merkovo zu Asmen zum Haus. Und beschaß ist in der Regel Achrise. Tracht man Machschowo Tevo, kann bringen, Moshiach nichts, auf 770 Nistern Parke. Rabbi dort Mewai, Abishad Barabim, Verkimodi, bemele sich alle Unionen Messiah, zu dem 91. Linie, wo das die Gula Hamitis war Schlemo, bemele sich Messiah, Sayen Zman und Sayen Mokim, als in Zman soll da sein, Teki vom Yad Mamosh, und im Mokim soll da sein, in dem Mokim, in welchem die Gefinster geschehen, wo das kann sich nicht jeder eine Monnen und vier Tees, hat zum Malen werden, wer der Gili von Migdash Adne kennen nur Jodecho, darf in dem Mord, wo gewinnt, der Esse schon in Achrenes, bis Achakel von Sibdimei Chayev Lifnise, Beid, wo Yikel am Ischbelt gleich Aribe gestellt, im Amane Schmaie, bin Reinu, bis Kenenu, Bubanenu, bin Nesenu, Larzena Agdesho, und zusammen mit dem Bis am Migdash Ashlishi, was wir hat da.
Bachrim from around the world have a achana for Yud Aleph Nisan, preparing and learning in Yoni Gula Mashiach. The Rebbe writes, the earliest thing we know about the Rebbe, from the Rebbe's own words, is Miyem Holchi Lacheder Veit Kedim Lezeh Hischil Yisrakim B'Dimyoni Tzir Gula Sidon. The Rebbe is describing his own life, that what was in his mind from the earliest time, it's Tzir Gula Sidon. And the Rebbe gave us this gift of having our mind full of Geula and Mashiach, by telling us this ayurah of limited Geula Mashiach, and just like the Rebbe lives Geula Mashiach, as we see through all the Sichos and Maimarim and everything, the Rebbe's Nesius and all the Rebbe's years. So the Rebbe tells us that what is the way to start living with the Geula Mashiach, to live with Mashiach, to limit the Yoni Geula Mashiach. And Baruch Hashem, yeshivas around the world have participated in this Chidon of learning Geula Mashiach. Yeshivas Chayvei Torah in Crown Heights, Yeshivas Eid al-Chanan Chabad in California, Yeshivas Lubavitch of Baltimore, All the Torah Crown Heights, Yeshiva Tein Chatim Lubavitch Poconos, Yeshiva Gdela Lubavitch of London, Tein Chatim Lubavitch Montreal, Yeshiva Lubavitch Toronto, Yeshivas Chassidei Chabad of Tzfas, Yeshiva Gdela Zal of Melbourne, Yeshivas Tein Chatim of Brunwa. So Baruch Hashem, yeshivas from around the world. uniting with learning in Yoni Gula Mashiach. And from these yeshivas, you have representatives who have not only learned and heard of it and excelled in learning in Yoni Gula Mashiach, they did the best on the test, and they represent all these yeshivas, and they've reached the next stage, which is here to have the Chidon. So we'll call up the representatives and Nitzikim from all the yeshivas, and we'll ask them to sit according to the order that we're calling them up. So the first Acher will sit on the first chair, and Azay Weiter, Mendel Blooming, Shalom Lieberman, Yisrael Minkowitz, Shmuel Hendel, Yitzchak Yena Vernick, Mendel Axiel, Yitzi Garelik, Menachem Tabuch. We have with us here as judges. So I have a mitzvah to say there. Nice to start with one of the judges. We have here also Paischem Mekfei Dachsanya, the Meshpia from Alotera. My father was a member of Adlafat Sichis, and you have to do it for everyone. Maybe I have to make the special Agdama. Speaking about learning in Yoni Gula Mashiach, so the Rebbe gave the Hirah of Limud in Yoni Gula Mashiach. The Rebbe specifically mentioned, the Rebbe said to learn all Chelkei HaTorah, and the Rebbe specifically mentioned in my Marim Malakut Sichas of Nesiderenu. For all those that were in 770, everyone jumped up. At least in my lifetime, was the only time I heard the Rebbe saying the words Lakut Sichas. And Befurish Yatzah Advarim Mugiv in the Sikha as well, that the Rebbe writes that specifically learning Lakut Sichas of Nesiderenu, and after the Farbrengen, the Vadlafat Sichas gave out Lakut Sichas, Geula Mashiach, the 4 Sichas. They collected from Lakut Sichas. Later, that was translated, and it came out also for the Welt as Chidushim U'Bu'urim V'Rambam, if I remember correctly. When they came out in Eretz Yisrael, those 4 Sichas, as the Dvar Malchus, Eitzah Miyuchedes, Cheveres Yudveis, the Rebbe gave it out on Tezvav Iyar. We're speaking about it already. They prepared another Cheveres of Lakut Sichas of Yigula Mashiach, and they gave it into the Rebbe, and it didn't come out. Gimel Shvat Tavshin Nun Beis. Before the Rebbe spoke the Sicha after Mincha, sometime earlier in the day, the Rebbe gave out a collection of Sichas. The Rebbe wrote that if it did not come out yet, they should give out the Cheveres and add from the Sichas from the Tkufa Achreina. Together with that, we have Rabbi Majeski, who's the Menal of Machin Liadus, a famous, popular teacher of Geula Mashiach, speaker around the world. And we have Rav Shmuel Chaim Blooming. We're talking about, sure, Magachir, Yeshiva here in Yeshiva, Alotera. But in Yani Geula Mashiach, we know Sefer Psudas HaGeula that was given out from the Sichas of Nalef and Beis. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rabbi Blooming was malaked from the Sichas of the Rebbe. Of course, also, it's good to mention that the first Sefer that came out, and in the Pesach Dover, it said about the Rebbe, the title Melech HaMashiach was the Sefer Psudas HaGeula. So it was, of course, with the Haskama of the Rebbe. The first round of the Chidon. Make sure everyone, your tablets are ready. As we are standing in Yemei Mashiach, so we use all electronic gadgets for Nyani Gula Mashiach. So, we're going to have 15 multiple choice questions. I guess, I don't know if you'll see it on the screens, but the Nitsigim will see it on their screens. I'll be reading Gibali Neder. And there's questions and there's choices of answers. The mark will be for the accuracy, the correct answer, as well as the speed. The faster you answer it, the more points you get. We'll read the questions and the choices of answer. Will be a 10-second countdown. And then we'll go to the next question. You ready? Bachrim? Yeah? Say there. I'll read the question and then I'll read the choices of the answer. Whenever you can press the answer, you can press it. Question number 1. What is the letter Aleph in the word Geula allude to? 1. Alufa Shalayla. 2. Ulfin of Limud, learning and study. 3. Pella, wonder. 4. All of the above. Okay. Question number 2. What was the beginning of the preparation of Matan Torah? 1. When Avram recognized his creator. 2. Lech lecha me'artzecha. 3. Conquering Eretz Yisrael. 4. Bris Milah. Question number 3. Mashiach is already active in the world, and part of the promises of the Gula are already being fulfilled. Choice 1, true. Choice 2, false. Question number 4. What does this name Tasriya refer to? 1. Saras. 2. Birth. 3. Offspring, children. 4. Rectification, fixing. Question number 5. What does the name Mitzayda refer to? 1. Stringencies. 2. Limits and boundaries, Meitzar Gvul. 3. Tuma. 4. Tara. Question number 6. When is the main inyan of Imi, my mother? 1. Pesach. 2. Shavuos. 3. Yom Kippur. 4. Sukkot. Question number 7. What is the beginning of Torah B'Pnimius? 1. B'Deishis Bara Elikim. 2. HaChedesh Hoyalibam. 3. HaChedesh Azelachem. 4. Anechi Hashem Elokecha. It's a different order. Okay, you guys choose. What you know is correct. Question number 8. How is Mashiach referred to in our curriculum? 1. Menachem. 2. Menuga. 3. Meshuga. 4. All of the above. Question number 9. According to the Rambam, will there be a change in the times of Mashiach? According to the Rambam. 1. Yes. 2. No. 3. Only in the second Kufa. 4. Only in the Elef Hashvi. Question number 10. Where do most Yidden live in recent generations? 1. Eretz Yisrael. 2. Countries ruled by a government. Malchus Shel Chesed. 3, the lands of Keni, Knizi, V'Kadmoni. 4, countries that do not allow full observance of Torah and mitzvahs. Question number 11. We will receive the 3 lands, Keni, Knizi, V'Kadmoni, without war. 1, true, 2, false. Question number 12. Yidden and Golos are like a Mitzvah who lives outside the camp. Choice 1, true. Choice 2, false. Question 13. According to Rabbi Yeshua, the Geula can be everlasting even if it does not come through Avodas Hamato. 1, true. 2, false. Question 14. Which term was accepted to refer to leaving Golos? 1, Haitzah. 2, Hatzalah. 3, Geula. 4, Likicha. Question 15. When is the Rosh Hashanah of the Geula? 1, Reish Chodesh Nisan. 2, Reish Chodesh Tishrei. 3, Yud Aleph Nisan. 4, Machlekes. Okay. 5 more seconds for this round. Please all, the Tzigim stay on the stage. We'll take a picture of all these Bachrim that truly invested their time and energy for Limud Inyani Geula Mashiach, making it a reality in their life to live with Mashiach. Today's Rambam teaches us what kind of bracha do you have to make on such an event. I think Shechiyanu V'Kimanu. Baruch Hashem, you have in Lubavitch Yeshivas a program that you learn Inyani Geula Mashiach. I'm sure you're doing it on your own time, in a way that it takes you over completely. But rather, today's Rambam tells you have to make a teva meitiv because it's teva l'chem and meitiv l'achayim. It's good for you that you're learning, and it's bringing the geula that we're all waiting for, the scholars of the Rebbe. Take it from a yad mamish. All right? I'm not a tzig, so I guess I'll go off. You'll take a picture of all the tzigim.
We take our things with us? Hold your pot. Stand up, hold your pot. Just your pot.
Says that Minig De'Reinu Zeh, Manenu Zeh, the custom of our generation, and this time is to learn in Yana Geula Mashiach. This custom didn't exist in the past. Even the custom of saying Ad Masai, the Rebbe said he never heard people saying Ad Masai, didn't hear it from his father, he didn't even hear it from himself until he came to America. But from the Inyanim that the Rebbe was Mechadish in our generation, is a custom of our generation to learn in Yana Geula Mashiach. There are multiple reasons why to learn Geula Mashiach. First and foremost, when the Rebbe said the Sicha of Chavches Nissen, the famous Sicha of Chavches Nissen, and he said that he did everything he can to bring Mashiach, and now we have to do whatever we can to bring Mashiach. The Rebbe told us we should come up with ideas what to do to bring Mashiach. A week later, Shabbos Tazrim Mitzvah, the Rebbe gave the idea himself, and the Rebbe said there are multiple different methods how to bring Mashiach, but there's the Derech HaYeshara, the correct straight, hakala v'amehira b'yoser, the easiest and fastest way from all other ways of Torah to bring Mashiach is by learning in Yanu Gul Mashiach. Specifically learning in Yanu Gul Mashiach berabim, in public. And the purpose of this learning is not only an academic exercise, it's also to be poil on the regesh believe, on the person's emotion, because when you're learning berabim, that has a special effect in terms of affecting the person's emotion, that he should feel the idea of Gul Mashiach. Connected with tzedakah, the learning and tzedakah should become one thing, because you could learn about that Ma'im Chazal Gedolah Tzedakah Shemakarevis Sagula, and particular emphasis should be paid to learning Gula Mashiach, how it's in Pnimis HaTorah, and especially in the Torah of Mashiach, the Torah of Ma'amarim Elokut HaSichos of Nasi Derenu. The Rebbe expounded upon this topic many, many times afterwards about learning Yana Gul Mashiach. So one idea of learning Gul Mashiach is a way to bring Mashiach. Another idea of learning Gul Mashiach is how the Rebbe spoke in Parshas Balak, that it's not only a zgula to bring Mashiach, lo yirak v'tur zgula, but it's a way to get a person lichyos in Mashiach. In order for a person to live with Mashiach, when he learns about Mashiach, that makes him live with Mashiach. Even if a person finds himself in a state of a golus pnimi, which is what the Rebbe spoke about Chavches Nissen, the problem that the Rebbe had was that they were in a golus pnimi, Rachman al-Islam. The Rebbe says the Gul Mashiach, Torah B'chlal, and Gul Mashiach B'frat has an ability to change the person and make him go out of a golus pnimi and be in a state of Gula. It also accomplishes, the Rebbe spoke in Parshas Balak, that when you learn the Gul Mashiach, it affects you in a pneumistic way, that it changes the machshava dibra maisa, that you become prepared and you live in a state which is appropriate for the Zman of Gul Mashiach. Another nukud that the Rebbe spoke about Gul Mashiach is that it's halach l'maisa. Normally we learn Gul Mashiach, like we said, as a zgula to live with Mashiach, but you have to learn the way of halach l'maisa, not hilchas l'mashiach as a faraway thing, but it's negeh b'regesh l'achris, and the next very moment you need to know how to act. So we're learning the halachas of Mashiach to know what to do.
The story with one of the Rebbeim that told a certain chassid, go into a hotel room, learn a mimer a few hundred times. And the story goes that when the chassid came out of the room, so he said he saw the mimer in front of his eyes. The teichen of the mimer was there all the time. So it's understood when someone learns something, that gets into it, it becomes real to him. When it comes to Yanim of Golas and Gula, so when someone learns about something, so it goes both ways. If you have a koch in something, so you want to learn about it. And if you don't have the koch about it yet, when you learn about it, it comes a koch inside. It makes it real to you. You start living it. You see it in front of your eyes. When we gaze, when we stay, always thinking about the Yanim. So the Mele, but famous letter of the Rebbe, everybody knows that the Rebbe, we're thinking about since as a child, you know, the Aldat IT, before that, all about what the was look about when Mashiach comes. That's the Rebbe's holding him. As Chidon, that's how we're as well, to have a big coffee in the Mashiach. And learning about it makes it more real to us.
The Indian, Limon Yanagul Mashiach, you see the Rebbe brought out the Chlolus 3 in Yonim, 3 Signanis, 3 Nekudis, and perhaps it's Zeh L'mayl Vizeh, or Kaponim Zeh Achrezeh. First thing when the Rebbe spoke about it, Barichus, introduced it, so to speak, is Tazrim HaTzorah. Here the Rebbe speaks the importance of learning Yanagul Mashiach as a Segula, as something unique, a way of Tiferes, which will bring the Iris the Torah and Kilam the Tikkun, which will be Megal the premise of Goyla, to be Megal, to be Mamshech, to be Gula. So it's the Etzem Limud of Gula Mashiach, which is Mamshech the Sinyan, almost like the concept of Istaku Baraisa Barama, learning the Sinyan will be Mamshech the Sinyan. Later in that summer, the Rebbe said, I believe this is Balak, Hashem and Aleph. The Rebbe says this that we speak about Mashiach Gula is not just a Segula, like at that itself will be Mamshech Gula, but it's also the Ikar to Lichyas Gula, to live with the Gula. And that's by the Iyun and being the Stakel B'Shesh Adorim. And I believe it was Hanan, the Stakel B'Shesh Adorim, to look very deeply in the meaning of Gula Mashiach. Benet Abali De'avera, that will pick up a person to be living with Yonah Gula. However, even after mentioning that, it wasn't in such a clear open as what we see later in the winter of Tashnam Beis. By year of Tashnam Beis, the Rebbe speaks the Sprach of Ufefen in the Yegin, and then it developed a Shengrek, Nizit Shem Tish, Sher Abar, Yosem, Mashiach Tzidkenu. And the idea of Limud Yanagul Mashiach is to anerkennen who me is, to kedetz Ufefen in the Yegin. So that's even more, it's perhaps a step further than just we're saying learn about something, cook something, you're living with something, not necessarily that's the reality. Here that I was telling us, this will help us just to recognize what's really going on around us. This is the Geulah which the Rebbe is seeing, asking from us to be part of it, and that's also with the Sprach, the famous Sicha Chai. So in the base, the Kabbalah Pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu, to be part of it, and to welcome this Metzius, this Galus Metzius of Mashiach, and to make it happen. Kipshutah, you should be able to be Mekayim Shluchos and bring the complete Geulah Mitzvah Shleima.
You do the letter that the Rebbe wrote on Yud Aleph Nissen to the president of Israel. Yud Aleph is a tough shin tezayin. Yem holchi lacheder ro'id koidem was a hischel israkim b'dimyoini tzir gula asida. From the Rebbe's early childhood, when the Rebbe went to Cheder and even earlier. What was misrakim b'dimyoini? What was the Rebbe thinking about, dreaming about, interested in? The gula asida. And as the Rebbe goes on to say there, not just b'chlal the idea of gula, but the kind of gula it's going to be, and how powerful the gula will be, and how it's going to enable us to revisit Golus, etc., etc. As we're days away from Yud Aleph Nissen, which is the day that it all started, the Rebbe's Yom Ledes. So, the most important thing that, and the easiest way, the Derech Shara Kalav and Mehira, to connect to this day and bring a matana for some Rebbe, is to enter the Rebbe's world. Right? This is the way the Rebbe's life is intertwined with Geulah. In order to be Misrakim b'dimyoyin Yitzir Geulah Asida, a Chassid has that happen, right? You just let your mind wander, all kinds of interesting ideas come in. The way we get our mind, Misrakim b'dimyoyin, that your dimyon should be full of Yonim Geulah Mashiach, it comes by learning Yonim Mashiach.
Anyone who learns in Yoni Geulah Mashiach is a winner. Because you learn in Yoni Geulah Mashiach, like you heard from the Mashpiyim, your brain and all that spoke, you fill your mind with Geulah Mashiach and you start living with it, being it. Definitely all Bachrim that came to the first round, that reached a proper amount of learning on the test, they're definitely winners. But Saf Kol Saf, you have to get to the one winner, so the Shlavim. So we'll call up the next round. The Bachrim that were chosen from the previous round to go further, figuring out who the winner, the son of Chidon, Mashiach. We'll call them up and we'll ask them to sit again in the order we're calling them up. The first bucket here and so on. Shalom Lieberman. Yisrael Minkowitz. Shmuel Handel. Yitzchak Vernik. Mendel Laxiel. Okay. Make sure you have your name in front of you, right? Paper. So, okay. The way it's going to go. Each Bacher will get a question from Rabbi Blooming. And they have 30 seconds to answer the question. The question should be answered short.
Okay, this question is for Shalom Lieberman. What is the explanation for the fact that the Tkufa of Shnei Alofim Torah began from the time of Avraham Avinu?
Because Avraham Avinu started the Chanes for Matan Torah.
Yisrael Minkowitz. Why is it important to know what is the inhalt of the Geula? The inhalt means what is the inyan of the Geula? Why is it important to know what's the inyan of the Geula?
Because then you could do a Fossas Mayonis.
Shmuel Handel. Where do we see in the halachis of a Mitzorah that the inyan of tzaras is to be ma'orer the person to tshuva?
He has to be outside all three machanes and even away from other Mitzorahim. That way it's going to force him to stay away from speaking Lashon Hara.
Yitzchok Vernik. What is the avodah of Kinyan Eser Arotzois b'pnimius onyonim?
Meichin Batzim. To learn Torah for the sake of learning Torah and connect to Eivishter.
Mendel Agzil. What is not understood about the word, the title Geula?
That most of the word is made up from the word Goyla. In the Geula, there's many things that are not with the Geula. Tkufa Shniya, Tchias Amesim.
What's the problem if many letters of the words of Goyla? What's the problem with that?
The Geula is much more abstract from the world.
Now, Rabbi Shapiro. We'll ask the questions. Questions may be a little harder, may include more details.
What is the difference, Shalom Lieberman? What is the difference between Nisan and Tishrei?
Nisan is the Aveda of Milmai Lamata Isirus Delayla that doesn't come to the Aveda of the Tachtin, and Tishrei is the Isirus Delayla that comes through the Aveda of the Tachtin.
Yisrael Minkowitz. How is the Rebbe Sheil, the Shita that establishing the Medina is Aschal to the Geula?
Because the clear psak din in Rambam that says that the Askolta of the Geula will start with Moshiach establishing the Malchus of David and not through Yidden just going to Eretz Yisrael.
Anything else?
We don't take up psak from Mishnah and Medrash and stuff like that. So it has to be according to halacha.
Okay. Shmuel Handel. What is the yachas from the Avedis Avraham Avinu Latachtenim in his Aveda before Lech Lecha?
Before Lech Lecha, what does it is it Achon to Matan Torah?
What
Has no
is,
shayach.
was there a connection from the Aveda of Avram to Tachteinim, the Aveda before Lech, the time before Lech Lecha?
There was no connection. It was the Mata state of Mata and the Likus that came in. Or was just like either it was just Al Yenim or it was just Tachteinim. It wasn't Al Yenim Tachteinim coming together.
Yitzhak Mernik. In which way was the Halicha of Avram?
Both Milamayla Lamata and Milamata Lamayla.
Explain.
Milamayla Lamata means that he went down to the world and brought Lakus down to the world. Milamata Lamayla means that he went up to Eretz Yisrael from Haran and from his previous Avedos. Like his Alicha was in Eifin Bein Areich to a brand new type of Aveda. And that way he broke the Gzera between Elienim and Tachteinim.
Mendel Azil. What did the Eibishter do, which is L'cheire Hepech Tivei? And why did he do it like that?
The Eibishter is Teva Tev Lehetev and L'cheira. Why is he taking down the Neshama and bringing him down here to this world where it's Makam HaKlippos, there's no Elikus, and the Neshama beforehand was in a very holy place. The reason why the Eibishter did it is because Dafka over there, that's where the Neshama can reach the ultimate Aliyah, which it couldn't have reached before.
Geen Shaila.
Shekayach, let's give them all a big round of applause. Great job. Step down for a few minutes. Take a deep breath. As the judges are going over the marks, to figure out who goes up to the next round. There's a raffle being made on Sichas Kodesh for all those that participated in today's event. Make sure you sign up, put your name down, to go into the raffle. As well, we want to mention the Shliach Marlena was killed in a tragic car accident. Kocht sich stark in the Mitzvah of the Rebbe of Eis B'Sefer Torah. And we want to mention to take this opportunity to make a Yisraelus about Mitzvah Eis B'Sefer Torah. So like Yara Rebbe Prus, Kocht sich stark in them. He got a letter from the Rebbe. It's in your nafshe, I think, Pnimi. The Rebbe asked about Kasha nafshes and Boltan and then from Eis B'Sefer Torah. Every bacher should please take a folder and try to sign up. At least 5 Yidden. Give the Rebbe a gift for Yalef Nissen. Not to Kol Amcha, Kol Echad Shenimitz Nichta B'Sefer. You have the Sefer Torah Kloli, La'achnas Yisrael. You have the Sefer Torah for Yalda Yisrael. Write the names down. You even have a special certificate. The Pasuk of Eisei Yemolet Amcha Kol Anitzah B'Kasa B'Sefer. A special pen. Looks like a quill that you write a Sefer Torah with. Please make sure to take part in this great mitzvah. For all the Bachrim that participated in the second test, all the Talmidim that participated in the second test. There's a raffle on the Mishnah Iska'ati. The raffle is made electronically on the computer, and the winner is Atamim Levi Binyamin from Baltimore. Oh, Levi Miyamitziv. All right, Levi Miyamitziv in the Yeshiva of Baltimore. For all the Bachrim that passed the final, a special raffle was made in $1 of the Rebbe. And the winner of this Geidel is a Bachar from the Yeshiva of Brunois, Tamim Yehuda Leib Liberov. Find out what's next, who goes up. How many times did the Rebbe mention the Hira of learning in Yoni Gula Mashiach from Chav Ches Nisan till Chav Zayin Adar? It's not a question of the Chidon. It's a question for everyone. The Rebbe, Summer Hirais, Miftzah Tefillin. The Rebbe spoke about it many times. Started from before the 6-Day War, repeated it, and so throughout many of them would say. And then it was at Kufa. The Rebbe used to finish almost every Farbringen mentioning all 10 Miftzayim. Later on, the Rebbe would speak about Hira once, twice. The Rebbe spoke about it more than that. It was a Chiddush. The Rebbe once said by Farbringen that not every time you have to say all the Hira is over again and again, from Bereshis Bara Elikim or from Anei Hashem Elikecha to the latest Hira. The Rebbe says it once, it's enough. Yet, when it came to this Hira of Limud Yoni Gula Mashiach, in a short period of time, from Chav Ches Nisan until Chav Zayin Adar, was repeated many times. And like we heard from the Mashpiyim, in various different Lashonos, and in Yonim, what Limud Gula Mashiach does. So the homework is, how many times did the Rebbe mention it? What is the special in Yonim of Limud Gula Mashiach? Okay, and now for the last round. Again, if you want to join the raffle for Sichas Kodesh, make sure you write your sign up, you write your name down in the raffle. So for the third round, we call up the Nitzigim, Atamim, Shalom Lieberman. Atamim Yitzchak Yoine Vernick. Hatami Mendel Axiel. Okay, these round of questions will be asked by Rabbi Majeski. The answer is correct or incorrect. And there'll be 20 seconds to complete the answer. Rabbi Majeski.
So I'm going to make a statement, and your answer is true or false, so it's correct or not correct. The true halicha in the Inyan of Hamidim Talmidim Harbe is when a Talmud becomes a Talmud Vasik Chadash B'Torah. This is to Shalom Lieberman.
Correct.
The second question is to Yitzhak Vernick. The talk that the Gula has already begun. This brings Simcha by Yidden. Correct or incorrect?
Is the question from the Sicha?
This is the question. The talk about Geula has already begun, and this brings Simcha by Bnei Yisrael. Is this statement correct or not?
Incorrect. Sorry, correct.
Okay. Mendel Agzil. Mashiach is Meitzitz Menacharakim, and he's looking when will the Aveda of Birur end, when will we finish Birurim, and then he'll come in a way of Achishena, and the Matzah of Yidden will be Kulei Zakai. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Shalom Lieberman. Through the fact that a person makes dira b'tachteinim, there's not even an afsharius to do an avera.
Correct.
Yitzhak Wernick, the president, announced that he wants to be remembered as the president of Chinuch and Justice. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Mendel Agzil, Ulfen of Limud. This is Meichen Shalamayla from Welt, but it's a mocker for Welt.
Correct.
The style of the questions will now change. You need a length answer with details. 1 minute timer will be put for each question.
Okay, the first question is to Shalom Lieberman. Give the details through which pa'ulis and which activities Avraham Avinu made the hachana for Matan Torah.
Through the Veda of Lech Lecha, of going to Eretz Yisrael, and then the Veda of Halicha La'archa L'Rachba, which is the Veda of Kinyan Eretz Yisrael, as well as the Veda of Bris Milah.
Next question is to Yitzhak Wernick. Which rayas did people want to bring that the establishment of the Medina is Escholas Agula, and how did the Rebbe reject it?
It says in Maimar Chazal that when Eretz Yisrael is going to give fruits for Shefa, Ein Lecha Case Megul Mizeh. Also, it says, another Maimar Chazal is that the Gul is going to begin just like the break of dawn. It's going to go kima, little by little. And also, Yishuv Aretz, Shivasiyin, try to connect the two. Now, Rebbe says that you can't paskin halacha from Midrashim and Mamar Chazal. Once we have the Psak Din from the Rambam, you can't say otherwise. Psak Din of the Rambam doesn't paskin that way. Plus, Rebbe says you can't put the two together, Yishuv Shivasiyin and Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. Yishuv Eretz Yisrael is a mitzvah that applied also before the Korban. Masha'inkin Shuasin is only after the Churban.
Mendel Exil. What are the three machlekesen between Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Lazar? And how are we metavich these two machlekesen, all three of them?
The first machlekes is going to get to Bria Sa'ilam. When is Bria Sa'ilam? The second machlekes is regards to if you either need to do tshuva to bring the Geula. And the third machlekes is with regards to the Geula Sida, when will it be? The way we're metavech with regards to doing tshuva is doing tshuva, but in a way of Nisan. And also with regards to Bria Sa'ilam, the Rebbe is metavech that there is the Bria B'Poel was in Rosh Hashanah. It's just the machshava before was during Chodesh Nisan.
You said the Gula? You said all three?
I think I did.
You said the Bria?
Huh? When the Geula is going to come, what the Yidden have to do for the Geula, and when the world was
You
created.
said all three.
We would like to give a very special thank you to our sponsors. Your commitment has made this year's Zal Moshiach Chidon possible. Machain Stam, Rabbi Shmuel Spritzer, the Liani family, the Schus Leah Yehudis Bat Rav Yeshua, the Greenbaum family, the Schus Refuah Shlema for Chaya Moshka Bas Nettel, the Schus all the Bachrim involved in the Rebbe's call for every Jew to get a letter in the Sefer Torah Klali, Elite Sterling, and to all the generous donors for tonight's event. A very big thank you to our rabbinical board, Rabbi Nachman Shapiro, Reb Shlomo Majeski, Rabbi Shalom Shapiro, and Rabbi Shmuel Chaim Blumink. Many thanks to the Moshiach Chidon Curriculum Department, Rabbi Shammai Edelman, Rabbi Shalom Moshansky, Rabbi Shmuley Korf, Rabbi Mendel Heidingsfeld, and Rabbi Surly Kievman. A huge shout out to all the staff that made Moshiach Chidon a reality. Rabbi Chaim Pekarsky, Rabbi Shammai Edelman, Rabbi Levi Teitelbaum, Rabbi Mendel Goldman, Rabbi Zelig Newman, Rabbi Zalmi Wilhelm, Rabbi Mendel Brown, Rabbi Shirley Kievman, Rabbi Zalman Hertz, Rabbi Zalmi Barash, Rabbi Mendel Weinbaum, Rabbi Sender Zirkin, Mendel Bachman, Yehuda Kedaner, Mendel Gutblatt, Shmuley Kievman, Mendel Lewis, Levi Lapkovsky, Yosef Izagui, and Yaakov Lerner. A huge thank you to that Hala Valitera, Rabbi Mendy Blau, Rabbi Yeshua Lustig, Rabbi Nissi Deitch, Hirsch Melech Rosenfeld, and the amazing team at Alitera. And finally, a very special thank you to all the Talmidei Shluchim from around the world for coordinating the Zal Moshiach Chidon at your yeshiva. This would never have happened without you.
Good news and there's better news. Good news is, everyone's learning Gola Mashiach. And we need another round find out who the winner is.
You want them to answer the first three? Or up there? Right, so this
And the winner for the set of Slichus Kodesh. Didn't give me a choice. Didn't give me a chance to put my name in. The winner should go out there and get the set of Slichus Kodesh. Tommy Mendel Stiefel. Again, there's a special chura explaining the of Gevula, the we're in, table next to the entrance. Make sure you get one. Okay, some more questions. I'm sure everyone is paying attention and having a chance to be the kind of the Rebbe to learn Yoni Gula Mashiach. Rabbi Majeski?
Yeah.
Take it away.
So this question is to Shalom Lieberman. What is the Aleph in the word Geula Meisiv in Geula? In detail.
First of all, it's Meisiv the level of Alufi Shalalam, the Gilui of Alufi Shalalam in Geula, in the world it is the way we know it, and then furthermore, it's also Meisiv on the level of Ulfin of Limud, which is in the Lashon in Isis of Sidis, this is Chachma and Bina. It's the Eibishter, the way it's higher than Welt, but still has a Sheikhs to Welt, and it's Megal at that level in Geula, and then the highest level in Aleph is Aleph Isis Pella, that it's the level of Keser. It's completely higher than Elamis, and it's the Amshach of that level into El Mazah.
Okay. Yitzhak Wernick. What are the questions about the name Geula?
Number one, why is the word Geila in Gula? What does Geila have to do with Gula? Chayra, they're Shnei Afachim. Number two, from the fact that the word Geula is made out of mostly the letters Geila, that means that is the Iker of Geula to put the Aleph into the Geila. Why is that the Iker Inyan? V'chayr, there are other Inyanim, Kuvashnia, higher Giluyim, and Tchias Amesim. Plus, it's not just the Alufish Elam that we're adding, that we won't have. Gil of Alufish Elam. There's going to be greater Giluyim up until also Gil of Atmos.
Mendel Axil. What different Eifanim are there of the Yachas that a Yid could have to the Titzaras, to the results of his Avodah? How does he relate to it?
Again, I didn't really understand the question.
The question is, there are different Eifanim how a Yid could relate to what comes out of his Avodah, not the Avodah itself, but the result of the Avodah. What are the different Eifanim of that Yachas?
Either you can look at it in a way that it's true, my Avodah is Take Poyel the Geula, but it's still far away. It's not one thing. The other way to look at it is that the Tazir and the Mitzvah, as the Rebbe says in the Sikha, it's all one thing. The Avodah, the Masenim Avodah Seinu, that brings the Schar of the Geula, it's all Hainu Ach, it's all one.
As the judges are calculating the the answers. I'm sure we're all thinking about the answers. The Mekayim Deirav, the Rebbe of learning Gula Mashiach right here. Remember, Tafshin und Daled. Went to the Talmud Yeshivas Ola Torah. Went for a Farbringen, the Yeshiva of Marastown. It's Farbringen, and the Melech Tzibul was Farbringen. I remember Bacher asked him during the Farbringen or afterward or before, there should be a Seder in Yeshiva, Limit Gula Mashiach, we should be learning it the whole time. He wanted someone, the Bachrim were doing their job properly. And money that should be Limit Gula Mashiach, part of Seder Yeshiva or something. So Melech was saying that Limit Gula Mashiach has to be something not only mugder in a certain Seder Yeshiva, has to be an entire day, entire time. Whenever you have an extra moment, you should be learning Gula Mashiach. He mentioned then the Rambam, the end of Vilchas Mikvais. The person has to be toivel himself completely, be me'adas atoyer. That was tikkun, me'adas atoyer, then he's tired. Until now, the Bachrim were in Yeshiva. During Yeshiva, you have a Seder, you have to learn Nigla, you have to learn Chassidus, what you have to learn, and different things, in different times. Now, in Bein Asmanim, you have a lot more time in your hands to learn Gula Mashiach, to really kachzich and live and learn Sugis of Gula Mashiach. And the Teva Dvarim, your home, on Shalichis and different places, it's to take this inspiration, the Seirah of the Rebbe, this tool of the Rebbe, that we can start living Mashiach. Now, Lichis and Mashiach, the learning Yoni Gula Mashiach, that we should share this with others and give them the opportunity to also live with Mashiach. Whether it's a Miftzayim, Shlichis, the family, V'kayetze B'zeh. We should have the learning Gula Mashiach, Mepifshem Mashiach, Teirach Hadashim Eiti Teitzei, B'karev Mamish. This day we should see the pu'ula of this wonderful mitzvah. The Bachrim that put all their time and energy. They're all winners, and therefore all three that reach the last round will receive the greatest prize, and they all receive $1 of the Rebbe. And for the winners, the third place, Hatamim Mendel Agziel. Second place, sorry, together with the $1 of the Rebbe, he also gets a set of Shulchan Menachem. Second place, it's together with the $1 of the Rebbe, you also get a set of Divrei Mashiach. And the winner is Atamim Yitzchak Vernick. We have one winner, that everyone knows who it is, and the winner of the Chidon Yilami of Gula Mashiach, Hatam Shalom Lieberman. We ask all the judges, rabbis, Jesse Shapiro, and Bluming to come up for the picture with the Kasanik. Yeah. We'll be for bringing with the spear of Polly Dubov here in the Zal. And announce, and there's a special shooter when you come out. Don't forget to get the shooter. What? If you pass the final, come to the corner over here to get your set of Svarim, as well as to announce that the Hassan who won the first prize is going to get a set of the Sichas Parshiyas. And we'll have now a Minyan Ma'ariv, a Kosher and Freilich and Pesach, Zaynis Galus, taken from Yad Mamish.
you are on stage, please come to the Svarim table and receive your automatic set. If you were on stage tonight, please come to the set of Svarim table and receive your automatic set if you were on stage. Don't forget to take a beautiful shurta, specially prepared for tonight's event. A shurta that was not published before, special content. Take it, learn it, live it.